Hey class, welcome to the session number 4 of module 1, which is where we're gonna see how we could research Amazon to brainstorm some ideas, product ideas, niche ideas, just like we did for eBay. And now we'll just get into it straight away because I know some of the basics you understand, because just like how we search on eBay, the same way we're going to just search on Amazon. And I hope that you have gone through the first 3 sessions of this module and it's making a little bit more sense now. It's probably giving you some kind of framework or a path you could lead to, and hopefully you have some products and niches out there on those task sheets that I give it to you in the second session of the module. So let's just go ahead. Again, I haven't really thought of any particular product that I want to show you, and I again don't want to show you yoga mats because that's what we have been talking about in all the webinars I've done till now. So let's see what I can find. But it's something, fitness is something I'm actually working on right now because I think I need to lose a little bit of my weight as well. So that's what I've been concentrating a little bit more in the evenings, in evening time, because that's when I get a little bit more time to spend for myself. So let's see what we can actually find something in the same area. Now, as just like eBay, obviously this is where you look at the actual catalog. I kind of now love the Amazon interface to use compared to eBay. For some reason, I don't know, maybe something just psychological, but I find this a bit more crisp and easy to navigate compared to eBay. Just like a few years back, it was completely opposite. I mean, I had been to Amazon's website a couple of times, but I didn't really like it, and I kind of really thought that Amazon was just for books, to be honest. So let's see. I mean, I'm just going to go into the same category and see, because I've just started running and I'm actually thinking of cycling, spending some time cycling every evening as well. So let's see if I can actually find something into the sports and outdoor cycling or running or something like that, anything accessory that can go with it. But what we're going to do is let's just go on the actual sports and outdoor, or we'll go from the full shop directly, just like we did in the eBay session. And from here we're gonna go into my favorite category, where I'm kind of trying to spend some more time. And actually we are planning to go on a short vacation or a holiday as well for a couple of days, and we want to do most of the places that we want to go in this summer is where we could do some kind of water sports and things like that. So I'm kind of obviously going through most part of this category anyways for this particular summer. But let's just go into all sports and outdoors so I can actually see the sub categories that would normally fall into that. And I did tell you that I've already started running, so I can find one of them here which I'm kind of interested. I haven't started yet, which is cycling, but let's see if I can find something in running as well, because that looks like one of the major categories as well. Look how many products are there in this particular category. So let's see if we can go in running and find some kind of add-on product or an accessory which could be a sub product, which we could private label, or potentially look some products which could be into the similar niche and give us some kind of brainstorming. We could brainstorm some ideas out of that. So as you can see, these are obviously some kind of like the top rated, as in like what are the products that sell more in these categories. Now, heart rate monitors, again, it's more like an electronic product, so let's just leave it to the big brands. But this is something which could be interesting because I really get thirsty quite a lot, so hydration backpacks could be something similar to like the water bottles that we carry around when we are working out or when you go on to run. So let's have a quick look actually, because this sounds interesting to me. Oh yes, that is exactly what I was thinking it could be. So these are the hydration packs, so I'm assuming that this bit is normally placed into that, so you could actually carry around easily along with your other stuff when you are running around. I have never seen this before or used this before. I was thinking of something more sort of like water bottles, but I know some of the places that I read that people don't like to carry around these kind of bottles. They carry them in the gym, but they don't really carry around much when they're running around, because it doesn't have a strap or anything to hold, and it becomes really hard because you have to keep a grip around the bottle. But these kind of hydration pack could be something which runners or cyclers normally carry around with them. So let's have a quick look. Now again, if you remember the first webinar which I did for the private label workshop, I did tell you that when you find some product, have a look at the product and then pick up one of the keyword which could be the most common keyword, and then we go ahead and type that into the actual search. So what I can see from here is looks like the hydration pack or hydration backpack is the most common keyword I could see here. So I'm just going to go ahead and type that. Now once again, before we do that, did you get just an idea? I mean, even though I didn't know what I was gonna kind of private label, I thought I could probably find an accessory or add-on product which normally people who run or cycle use them, and straight away we have now one kind of product. So even if you had decided to be into the fitness niche, these could be your products which you built your brand around. So you could still be doing something like yoga mats, and you could still have something like a hydration bag, because they all fall into a like a fitness category or fitness niche which you could build your brand around. So for time being, let's just try and look for the hydration backpack, and rather than going from sports and outdoor, I'm just going to go into the main search words again. So let's type hydration. That was pack or backpack. I think it was a backpack. So let's have a look. Okay, so here are the first page results which we found based on just this one particular keyword. Now as I said, it could be so many different keywords we could try, as it showed into the Amazon search. It was a pack as well, so there was bladders as well which you could use. Some of them are calling it rucksack as well. Now you can see you could even target keywords like cycling bladder bag. So you might have to research, because all products that appear on these search results might give you different results depending on what keyword you're using here. But for time being, let's see. So what can we find here just by typing out hydration backpack? First of all, I can already see some more categories or sub categories which I could target or look my products into. Again, these are not exactly the same one, but I think these are coming up just because of the backpacks. So think about it, I was searching something like that, and suddenly school backpacks came into this search result, and maybe I didn't find a product which is profitable in this niche, which is the hydration backpack, but suddenly I can just go into the school backpacks and brainstorm some few more ideas. But for the time being, we're gonna stick around with this. Again, look how Amazon search or Amazon algorithm helps us to actually think about more add-on products or what people could be searching around. Can you see these keywords that come up? Look at some of the sponsored ads. So these are most probably the newer sellers, so you could actually go there as well and find out what they're doing good, what they aren't doing good. But for the time being, let's see what came up on the first page of the search when we searched for hydration backpack. So first result is showing only 10 reviews. Wow, this is kind of sounding very interesting for me to look into it. Look at it, the third one is probably the highest seller, and one reason obviously could be the price. In fact, this is into a similar price as well. And just looking at this first image as well, even though I know it's a black colored product, but it doesn't really, the picture doesn't really look that attractive to me for some reason. But maybe because of the price, it's got 294 reviews, so I'm assuming even though it's not coming up first in the search with this particular keyword, maybe it comes up high in other search, because they put rucksack and the cycling pack as well, so, and hydration pack, so maybe they come up higher in search with these particular keywords. But let's have a look at this first one. Okay, so what I can see is that it is definitely a private label brand, and actually they enter their brand name in most part of the listings as well. I would say it's a little bit terrible listing because they have only 2 pictures, and if I just look at this product just looks kind of shabby. I mean, it looks like it's I mean, I know it's only like £9.95 anyways, but again, look at it. I mean, this is not an FBA item, which is kind of bad. I mean, if I was going to private label this would something really interest me or encourage me, because these guys are not selling it via FBA. So that's a good point for me. They have good variations. Yes, they have a lot of colors with it. They have got bullet points. Again, they're not making use of bullet points up to a good extent, because you could actually have bullet points coming up to here based on the characters that allow. And again, as I said, they're not even making use of a lot of pictures that they can put into. And there's a lot of creativity which can be done on this particular product, when you're listing your products. But still, I mean, it's a decent enough, title as well. Obviously they've got 294 reviews, so I'm assuming they are selling a lot because of the price point. But again, the fantastic Amazon algorithm shows us what are the products people buy into these categories. So they buy gloves, they buy obviously hydration packs. Again, this is very bad product because it's only got one review, and again it's a 1-star review. But look at it, how many different items we can straight away brainstorm or put down our list that these are the people. So if I was selling something like this, I could start selling any one of these other products to which kind of matches with the product that we are already researching now. But let's just scroll down a little bit further to see what's really happening. So this is the BSR which we always talk about. So it's somehow gone into clothing niche, but it's showing that the BSR is 500, which I can definitely tell you sells a lot, which means it's been selling a lot. And you can tell this because it has automatically ranked into 3 subcategories. You can see hydration pack is number 1, the reservoirs and bladders it's 1, and into the bike backpacks and bags it's coming up as 5th. So it's ranking quite high on a lot of research, a lot of search terms that comes up into different particular categories, and everything into the obviously sports and outdoor. Look at the product description. This is the worst one I've come across in quite a few time now, and I keep searching for a lot of products and accessories, and look out what's trending into the Amazon marketplace as well. But this is one of the worst. Look at this. First of all, there's no kind of bifurcation or separation of any kind of data what's been put into there. Apart from that, for some reason they have decided to leave certain lines in between, which doesn't really make sense. I cannot see any questions asked for this particular product, which is again terrible. Look at the products, the reviews leaking, the bag is great quality, but the water bottle does not seem to I don't even want to read all this, but it gives me a little bit idea that, and even just as I said, based on the actual picture that we saw, it just looks like, yes, it's been selling a lot because it's probably more like a mid-price item. But let's just go back and try and see the other products to see if actually these kind of products are viable for us to pick up as for the private label. So I'm just going to pick up some product now which appears to me a little bit better with the images, because what I understand is sometimes customers look out what appeals to their eye, and my eye appeals to something like this if I was to private label, because it looks like someone is really concerned about how their bag or the picture of their bag looks like. And look at, even though all these are quite good, compare this black, the one, to this one just looks like faded, and I can't even tell you what exactly it looks like, but it doesn't look appeal to my eyes. But this one definitely appeals to my eye if I was looking for a black backpack or a hydration pack. So let's just go into this, and very interestingly see how they are actually pricing their product as well. So it's almost double the price, and it could go up to triple. Maybe we'll see why it can go up to 44 when we click on that. Now again, the title is quite small. All these things I'm not going to tell you now, because we'll obviously have a proper session on the module when we do the listing module, but I'm just trying to see why they are actually pricing it so high. And you can clearly see it does look like the material what they're using is quite better as well. And look at the picture, it actually you can see the texture of the actual product as well. Look how many the product images they have got, and they're clearly showing you how it connects to the bladder of the bag as well. And this is fantastic. Look, they're just making use of a prop and showing you actually how the product would look. This is why this is probably selling at such a good price. You can see the black one, and I don't know why it was showing up to £44, but maybe they had one or the other accessory or color which they were selling at a higher price. But look at this, it looks amazing how they're actually showing each product. It's only got 38 reviews, but that could be due to a lot of other reasons. Again, some of the retailers are selling it at a different price. That's why it's showing up to £44. Look at these guys. I mean, I was telling you, once you click on a product, you'll see all the add-on products which Amazon shows you what people are buying. So cleaning kit for the bladder, so these are the products which could be your add-on product. You can bundle them. Look at what other customers have bought. Now sometimes you might find some silly suggestions, but that's because someone just bought these items along with these items. But most of the times you would find similar items what people buy in this particular niche or category. If we scroll down further, okay, this one again is not ranking that high in a lot of categories, but for the main one, hydration pack, is number 4, which is not bad. And if you think about the other one that was showing 500 BSR, this is 1000 BSR, which is not really bad considering those people were selling it only for £14, whereas these people are, I mean, obviously this is sold by Amazon, so obviously we're not going to see it as a FBA, but there are other retailers who are selling it and they're fulfilling it by Amazon. So I can understand that this is probably a brand which Amazon stocks themselves as well, and we just stumbled upon this one which Amazon's selling as well. But let's look at, and you can see how customers are engaging for this product. That one, we didn't see a single question being asked, because hopefully or possibly people are buying that just based on the price. But this one, because the branding and appeal is so good, people are more conscious of what exactly the product is. See how many questions have been asked, and these answers could be I'm doubting that the seller hasn't answered because Amazon is selling it. If it was a brand owner themselves selling, I would possibly see them answering. But can you see one question has been asked by this person on the 18th of August, and these answers are given by buyers of this product on Amazon. This is so amazing. So that means they actually love the product they have already bought. Otherwise, why would they even bother answering some other customers' questions? So this is fantastic. Can you see people have already answered these like 5-6 times, and just like the next day, which means people who already bought these items are quite happy about it. And as you can see, there's only one star review. Most of them are actually into 4 and 5 stars. So this is fantastic. Let's see what, if this was something sold by the brand owner themselves, then we could have gone in and checked what other accessories they sell. But if you see what I'm trying to say, you already came into just running category, and then you found a hydration pack, and now you're already trying to see what kind of sellers are selling them, to find out what you could sell, or what kind of products you could sell, what kind of earnings you can expect if you are into this kind of category. So if you see the difference, the product sells between 25 to 30 pounds, whereas some of the other brands are selling it just for about 17 pounds. Some of them are selling it for about 10 to 14 pounds. So there's quite a good variation. What that shows you is, yes, the majority of the buyer are buying something which falls into this range, but there are customers who are buying those premium or a different higher I would say higher quality materials. And if you remember the example I showed you in Jake's webinar, where I showed you a standard black and brown shoes, those are something like this. But then if you had a textured like a crocodile print shoes that I had shown in that webinar, this would possibly fall into something like that. And even if we don't go on to this, because obviously this is more higher price, let's look at the first one as well, because that looks like someone is making a little bit good money as well, because it's coming up higher in search. Again, the images isn't that good. This is too dark, this is too blurry, but it's still coming up higher in search for at least one product, and it's still ranked good. And remember guys, we are not going for a product which sells 100 or 200 or 50 a day. All we are looking at is if we can slip into a category or a sub category where we could make just like 15-20 sales on one variation, and then the other variations would take care of the other 15 sales that we want. So as I said, if you follow my 5-step down approach, all we are looking at is having 30 sales out of one product, and that's between 3 variations. So the first one, all we are looking at is if we can find a product which can make at least 15 sales. Look at the description, there's nothing. So if I wanted to come into this particular category, and if I validated that the first 4 or 5 sellers are actually making sales 15 or above, I'm sure the one that had 294 sales even more than that. But if the other one of these are actually selling more than 15-20 a day, I'm sure I can actually if I can, as long as I can validate, I can buy into a price where it would give me a £5 profit, I'm sure I can take over these, because they don't have really that many reviews. The one we looked at earlier had only about 38. This one only has 10, and the images are terrible. I mean, there's not much you can see in the bullet points as well. The description is even worse than the first one that we saw, which had 295 reviews. This has only like plain lines, 2 lines, doesn't really tell much about it. So I'm sure I can actually take over this, as long as I can find something which falls in this price category. Again, this is fulfilled by Amazon. That's probably is ranking up higher in search as well. So as you guys, I mean, I don't know what to say, but sometimes I'm hearing in all the Facebook groups that it's hard to find an item. I understand. I mean, obviously this is just, I haven't validated whether this is making profit if I'm buying this from Alibaba, but finding an item and niche is not that difficult. I think the difficulty what most of the startups are facing is they're thinking too much, or they're thinking about too many products. Now, if I wanted to go into fitness industry, just by speaking to you guys, into a couple of webinars and the videos that I've just done today, I already have 2-3 products on my mind. So I have a hydration pack, and I could still find other products which come up as related search on these ones. I can go ahead and search for tripod stands, which we looked at eBay session the other day, and I can also search for yoga mats, which I've been talking about. So as you can see, it's quite easy to find. Just try and brainstorm for a couple of hours, and once you have a little bit you are inclined towards one of these niches, just get into that and see if you can somehow find one product and validate it whether that can make 15 sales or not. It's not really that tough if you think a lot day in day out, and especially if you think, say, on today, and then you just leave it at there, and then tomorrow you start thinking or brainstorming again. Whatever you thought on the first day is just gonna go for a little bit of toss, because then with a fresh mind you're thinking again into another category or niche. So just try and spend some more time, quality time, maybe a couple of hours in one go, so that your brain is constantly thinking about the same niche and the category or the product that you're looking around at. So I think that's it. I'm gonna be wrapping this particular episode, and I hope, just like how I showed you in the last session how you could brainstorm ideas on eBay, this has helped you to find your give you a little bit of insight how you could brainstorm ideas on Amazon as well. So I'm gonna leave it here right now, and I hope that you start taking some notes and start brainstorming more and more ideas, especially on Amazon, because that's where we're looking to sell our products at. And hopefully I'll catch up with you in the next lesson.